it's Christy here with the Laugh or Cry podcast. I know I've not been very good on keeping up with my podcasts, but I think I've just been so depressed how horrible life is right now, especially for us girls. Sorry, that's Freddie waggling right over there. But I've been just shocked with the overturn of Roe versus Wade. That is something. I was born in the 70s. I thought we would never, ever even have to consider that it would be overturned. But no, we've got some ass clowns in the Supreme Court that made sure that happened. And since it's been overturned, I'm worried. I am worried not about just me, but about a lot of people that I know, love, that I don't even know. I am worried about everyone. Yeah, I take that back. I'm not even worried. I'm pissed off. I am pissed off. Girls, I implore you that while you can, before it's made illegal, go get an IUD. An IUD lasts for, I think right now, 6 years. I've got one, so at least you won't have to worry about that for 6 years. You can't guarantee on condoms. We don't know how long the pill will be available to us with all this craziness going on. So I implore you, get an IUD before Griswold versus Connecticut is overturned. That is going to be concerning birth control, since they're overturning everything. And all my gay friends and interracial friends, make sure you've got a will and advance directive in place before Obergefell versus Hodge and Loving versus Virginia get overturned. So those are two things I want y'all to have your rights. And the way things are going, we don't know that that's not going to happen. And you guys, you better hope that Lawrence versus Texas doesn't get overturned, because that will mean no more blowjobs for you. That would be illegal if that case was overturned. We are being set back 50 plus years. It's boggling my mind. And hell, if we're going to go all the way back, let's go all the way back. Let's go back to require all men to pay alimony after divorce in all states. Oh, but you wouldn't like that now, would you? So there are some things you want to keep. Okay. Now, if you're going to force the women to have a baby, let's also force them to say who the father is. And so he can take care and share in the punishment as well. Okay? And if it's from rape or incest, put their asses in jail. All right? Or worse. Let's be honest. If you raped or had incest, you're probably not going to be paying any child support for that kid anyway. So go ahead and put their fucking asses in jail. I'm all for castration. And no, not a chemical castration. I want you to do what they do with livestock. You know what I mean? I want there to be full surgical castration, no anesthesia. And while I'm thinking about it, let's go ahead, put an accused rapist, multiple accused sexual predators as part of our SCOTUS. Well, that makes all the sense in the world. Now, and let's not forget Clarence Thomas here. Now, I remember back in the day that there was some turmoil about him having an alleged affair and possible rape. So that's two sexual predators that are SCOTUS right now. So yeah, we should be pissed off. And then you've got the governors of Texas and Florida that, if you were to tell me the story of these people, I would think that it was a joke or some sort of science fiction movie. But no, they are really that bad. And I'm in Tennessee. Our governor isn't any better. Governor Bill Lee. You know what his requirement was to be a governor of our state? He owned an HVAC company. An HVAC company. I think we've learned with Trump that having a businessman in office is not going to work out as well as we thought it would. I talked to a nurse where I live, that works in the NIQ, or NICU, I think they call it, for the premature babies. And when she heard about the overturn of Roe versus Wade, she was sickened by it. Because y'all don't see these premature babies that are struggling, that are suffering, because they're not going to live very long. Certain babies aren't. Or if they are, they're going to require tons of surgeries, a lot of medical care. So basically, you would rather not abort them, but make them suffer through life, what little life they have. You know, we put down dogs when they don't look like they're going to have a good quality of life. And I just thank Governor Lee for one thing, though, because last year he took it away where you don't need a permit to carry a concealed or open weapon here in Tennessee. So, ooh, guys, guess what? Girls, get your guns. I'm almost 50, and God, if I found out I was pregnant today, I couldn't find a coat hanger and a flight of stairs quick enough. All right? I can't imagine starting all over again at 50. One, I'm on medications that would make a pregnancy not so good. You know, there could be medical complications for me and or the baby as well. When I'm 50, oh my God, do I really want to be 70 when the kid graduates high school? High school. And then, you know, I might be dead soon after or before that. So that kid, it's on its own at a young age with no... They're just not thinking this out. And, you know, most importantly, I just don't want to have a baby. I don't want one. I don't want one. I've done it. I've had mine. Great. And if I hadn't oopsied then, I probably still would have never had a kid. You know, and that's fine. You don't have to have a baby. You know, I don't know where it's stated that as a female, you've got to procreate. You don't have to. You don't have to. But thank you, SCOTUS. You're taking another ability for us to make our own decisions away. Now, here is an estimate I found online. Nearly 1 in 5 women have experienced completed or attempted rape during their lifetime. 1 in 5. I'm willing to say that is probably a conservative number. 1 in 3 women, female rape victims, experience it for the first time between the ages of 11 and 17. So let's say you've got your little 13-year-old daughter who just got her first period. She gets raped. She's pregnant. She's given birth at 13 to a rapist's baby. And it's to no fault of her own. I'm sure she was not gallivanting around asking for it the way you people make it sound. Between 11 and 17. I doubt a lot of rapists are worrying about putting on condoms either. Let's think about that. And what about these girls that are raped by their fathers, their uncles, their brothers even? So an 11-year-old who was raped by her uncle is going to be forced to have that baby. An 11-year-old. So if women are forced to bring a baby to term, then shouldn't child support be given at conception? I mean, if life begins at conception, then shouldn't child support? Is free health care going to be included? How about diapers, formula? Well, what we know about formula right now, there isn't any available. Now, and as far as I know, foster care is pretty much already overextended before this. I've got a friend who's very conservative, love her to death, but she actually fosters. She's fostered and adopted a lot of kids. How many of you conservatives would be willing to go ahead and be like, oh, I'll adopt that baby if she doesn't want it? Being very few of you. Now, I love her too because she's also one of those people that's like, she doesn't want California deciding what we do for her. So okay, then that means if you don't like the Electoral College and you don't want California deciding for you, that means you think that the popular vote should be what we go by? Because that's what it sounds like you're saying. And if it is, then I agree. I'm all for like getting rid of the electoral college and going with the popular vote. She considers, and a lot of others, Plan B and IUDs abortions. Well, she thinks some use of some abortion as birth control. The people, oh God, I'm saying it wrong. She thinks that there's a lot of people out there that use abortion as birth control. And I gotta tell you, if you look at the statistics, that's actually very, very rare. Very rare. As she even talks about like abortions during the 9th month. That is super rare. Like literally 1% of abortions are in the 3rd trimester. And I'm pretty sure like after that fact, I wouldn't want to get one personally after the 1st unless there was a danger. And then 2nd or 3rd, I could see it. Again, going back to maybe a child that is born without, with their brain being on the outside of their skull. That's a thing. Or people with internal organs that are outside of their chest cavities. That's a thing as well. So these are babies that possibly are not going to even survive birth. But you're going to force them to suffer because they're already in the womb. So that tells me that you are not as pro-life as you say that you are. The health of the mother or a fetus is what should be looked at, especially if you've got the baby that's brain dead, or it's so many scenarios that I've read and watched about. And also, I got people going into about Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood does not pay for abortions out of government money. Where are you people getting that that's a thing? It's not a thing. They do not use taxpayer money for abortions. Now, what they do provide is education, birth control, testing, pelvic exams, cancer screenings, just to name a few. That is what they usually do. More than abortions, they provide things that will help the woman save her life from getting cancer or getting this or getting that. So, ladies, sorry, but, if you get pregnant, you're not going to be able to finish school on time because you've got a baby to take care of now. You're going to have to figure out how to pay for food, diapers, daycare. Now, when I had my baby, and granted that was years ago, I got a little over $300 a month. $300 a month. So don't make it sound like these women are gold digging. I wasn't getting dick of money. No, I wasn't at all. And in fact, he lied about how much he made. So he would only have to pay less. Daycare is now in some places like $1,000 a week for one kid. $1,000. I remember him, my baby daddy, he complained about child support, as they always do, saying, well, macaroni doesn't cost that much. Is that all that you're feeding her? Is macaroni when she's with you? And I wouldn't doubt that it wasn't. So not only did I have to buy daycare, I had to get food, I had to get diapers, formula, I had to get an apartment of my own, because who wants a roommate with a baby? I couldn't live with him because he was just a monster and I hated him. I had to get a full-time job, 1, to afford everything, and 2, daycare was only available about 9 to 5. So we didn't have a lot of weekend or nighttime options for daycare. I had to finish college when I could. I was there long enough to be a doctor. It took that long because we didn't have online classes like you do now. So, but did he finish on time? Yes. Did he finish in his field? Yes. Taking the baby whenever it was convenient to him? Yes. SCOTUS opened up carry in New York as well. Yeah, if I think of all the places in the world that people should be able to walk around with a gun all willy-nilly, New York is one of those. Unless you're in the military, because they have training, I think you should be 21 before you're able to purchase a gun. I think that's reasonable. I can't get a hotel room till I'm 25. in most companies. I have to be 21 before I can buy alcohol. So I think saying that you're 21 before you can purchase a gun yourself. Now, keep in mind, I get it. You've got some people that are hunters. All right, you can get a rifle or a shotgun. I don't know a lot of people that need ARs, any kind of AK weapon to hunt. And if you say that you use them to hunt, I might have to call you a liar because that would really fuck up the meat. But whatever. I've shot them. Yeah, I know how they work. Do you need one? Maybe if you got a small penis, which, let's be honest, most of these shootings that we see, they're white men. Pretty much mostly white men. And these white men, what do they call them? The, like, oh my gosh, incels. Or the uncels. Uncels, where they're involuntary celibates. Have you looked at some of these guys? It's not because of their guns that they're celibate. It's because they're creepers. And they want to blame women. And these guys are getting guns. And I wouldn't doubt it if a lot of them are targeting women. But that's another subject for another day. Oh my God. And then going back to January 6th. Oh, I'm so sick of this. Fucking kill him already. Arrest him. He's guilty of treason. Just hang him already. He tried to choke his Secret Service driver. He threw food at the wall. Ketchup. What grown man throws shit on a wall like a third grader? I remember when we used to hang traitors. Just an idea. R. Kelly got 30 years. That Maxwell chick's going to get 20. There's a lot of pedophiles that only get 6 months of jail. 6 months. Pedophiles. You can rape a kid and just get 6 months. Unless you rape a lot of them. Neuter them all. Neuter them all. Neuter them. And again, that would solve 2 problems right there if you castrate pedophiles. You're getting pedophiles off the street, rapists off the street, and you're helping keep women from getting unnecessarily pregnant. 2 birds, 1 stone. I'm so pissed off that I almost want to run for office, but I've got such a checkered past that I don't know if it would be a really good idea or not. But one, you got to have money. You got to have money to be able to run for office because of all these advertisements, which we see so many of. They do background checks. My background might not be the best. I don't really have experience, but we see that that's not necessarily an issue anymore, do we, Billy? The 2-party system is just stupid. I mean, get rid of parties altogether. Some politicians are only claiming to be in one party or another to get votes. Examples, Trump, Manchin. Is that how you say his name? Manchin. Now, I have got an idea. And I think some others have had this idea too, because great minds think alike. We could get wire hangers and mail them to certain people that could use them. I'm going to have them in the description of this episode. Just an idea. But here's some addresses. I'm also going to include the link for the wire hangers if you want to send them, for instance, to Tennessee's Governor Bill Lee. Or, any governor that is the head of your state. We could send it to the Senate. We could, especially Marsha Blackburn and Bill Haggerty, which are horrible human beings. Horrible. Oh, yeah, Marsha gets a lot of money from the pharmaceutical companies, so she's definitely got those lobbyists in her back pocket, or vice versa. And the link for the wire hangers. I think it would be lovely if all of us sent wire hangers to these pieces of shit so they know how we really feel about them. Sorry, this is more of a negative situation. But I just really pissed off about the whole Roe versus Wade thing. So keep this in mind. November. Go ahead. Get out there. Vote. Vote like your life depends on it, because it might. If you haven't registered, do it. Do it now. And I'll try to send a link below as well for you to register to vote. Very important that we vote now more than ever. And I'm even going so far as to saying, let's vote to get all the incumbents the hell out of there. My name's Christy.